You likely cook rice twice a week, eat it without thinking, and trust the bag completely, which is a major error. Right now, several popular UK rice brands sitting in Tesco, Asda, and Aldi carry hidden risks your supermarket never bothered to mention, such as inorganic arsenic and zero sourcing transparency. You are often buying broken, damaged grains marketed as budget options. The brands charging you premium prices are sometimes the worst offenders. We will name every single one of them, and then we will reveal the 4 brands worth every penny you spend. If food honesty matters to you, subscribe now because there is plenty more of this coming. There is something nobody prints on the back of a rice packet, and that is how rice absorbs inorganic arsenic from the soil and water it grows in. This is not organic arsenic, which passes through the body quickly, but rather inorganic arsenic, which is a Group 1 carcinogen with the same classification as tobacco smoke. A daily bowl of rice can hurt you because this is a slow accumulation problem rather than a single meal crisis. Brown rice is even more concerning because the outer bran layer that gives it a healthy reputation holds a highly concentrated dose of that absorbed heavy metal. It contains around 80% more than white rice, since white rice has the bran removed to cut the risk sharply. Then there is the organic trap, where organic farms flood their fields to control weeds without synthetic chemicals. More water means more arsenic uptake, meaning organic brown rice can actually carry the highest risk of all. This is a serious issue, and we need to identify these brands. Starting with the budget aisle, Asda long-grain white rice features immaculate packaging and a low price tag, but it offers zero sourcing transparency. Asda buys from whoever charges the least per 100 grams, meaning the supplier changes constantly and quality control swings right along with it. This makes it difficult to trust feeding it to your family, especially with no public arsenic checks, no traceable batches, and absolutely no documentation. Aldi Everyday Essentials rice operates identically, as the origin label usually reads India or non-EU, which is a broad geographical sweep that tells you nothing specific. You are getting the cheapest available crop from the cheapest possible source, bringing unseen baggage straight onto your plate. According to UK Food Standards Agency guidelines and retailer corporate compliance statements, both corporations claim to meet UK food safety laws. While technically true, scraping past the legal minimum and offering real consumer protection are entirely different things. Consumers deserve the hard facts about their food, but these brands decided you do not need them. Now we move to the brands charging more while delivering undeniably less safety. Starting with Tesco Organic Brown Rice. You pay a hefty premium as the word organic sits proudly on the front. But you actually get brown rice cultivated on waterlogged organic farms that draw heavy metals straight into the outer casing. There is zero safety data provided with this product. Sainsbury's SO Organic Brown Basmati takes this issue even further at around £4 per kilogram, where you hand over premium cash for a highly elevated risk profile. The outer bran layer remains intact, and, according to UK food safety regulations and standard supermarket packaging, there is total silence on safety metrics. This approach makes no sense, as these corporations rely on the lazy assumption that organic automatically means safe. For this specific crop, slapping the word organic on a packet without showing the heavy metal analysis completely misses the point. The high price tag turns this into an insult, because you are paying for a label rather than actual safety. Tilda is Britain's most trusted and recognized rice brand on the supermarket shelf. Yet its whole-grain basmati keeps the nutritious bran layer intact after the inedible outer hull is removed. Every serving comes from regions known for the lowest heavy metal levels, and the company actively tests their batches for purity and safety, though this fact is rarely mentioned. Then there is Tilda Pure Basmati, the well-known blue bag that defined premium quality for a generation of British cooks, which now tells a deeply frustrating story. They maintain strict supply chain consistency and conduct DNA testing on every batch to guarantee purity. As search results on their product lines show, the company expanded and their attention fractured. What used to be deeply fragrant and perfectly separated now regularly cooks up sticky and flat, ruining what was once a highly regarded product. The historical reputation is real, but the actual grains inside the bag tell a vastly different story today. Independent reviews across major supermarkets still show high ratings, with consumers praising its taste and fluffy texture. Yet when a corporation scales up this fast, something always gets quietly sacrificed. With Tilda, the very quality that built their empire has faded.
Tilda broken basmati consists of fractured and damaged grains swept up from the milling process, shoved into a bag, and pitched to consumers as an economical choice. These are offcuts and fragments, and it is unreasonable that the company charges money for what are essentially floor sweepings. Laila basmati rice presents a different issue entirely, as its undeniable signature aroma is precisely why it dominates the shelves. However, Laila throws together grains sourced from all across India and Pakistan purely to crush costs down to the floor, making it practically impossible to trace a specific batch. Worse still, the rice gets heavily polished during processing, which is a manufacturing step that strips away the majority of its useful minerals. The smell survives, while the nutrition completely vanishes during this process. There is a clear pattern connecting these popular choices, featuring beautiful packaging and tempting prices, but hiding a supply chain devoid of accountability. This invisible pattern ultimately decides what accumulates in your body over time. If this information is making you rethink the supposedly safe packets sitting in your cupboard right now, hit the like button. Doing so forces the algorithm to show this warning to other people who need to see it. Veetee rice clears the basic legal hurdles, but scraping past a minimum requirement and offering actual transparency are entirely different things. According to Veetee Foods' corporate information and industry news, the company operates at an industrial scale where farm-level traceability is actively supported by their participation in sustainable digital tracking platforms. Despite this, public safety data remains painfully sparse, giving consumers little reason to blindly trust a brand that refuses to hand over the evidence proving their safety. A colorful plastic bag cannot fix the fact that these 9 household names are pushing measurable heavy metal risks, selling subpar grains, or refusing to reveal their true origins. The common denominator here is that your physical health was never the priority in those boardrooms, as profit margins and scale always came first. Polished brand perception masked the ugly reality of their supply chains. We will now look at the true opposite by examining 4 outstanding options available right now in UK supermarkets and online that actively prove their purity. These brands show their work and ensure every penny spent is fully justified. If you insist on keeping brown rice in your weekly rotation, you should start with Wholefood Earth Organic Brown Rice. They offer organic brown rice and openly share their safety protocols, even though they do not provide specific data showing it is sourced from regions scientifically verified for lower heavy metal contamination. Experts advise washing rice thoroughly before boiling to reduce arsenic, and washing it 6 times is backed by hard evidence proving it drastically cuts the danger. Most current brands do not go to those lengths, making this a clear example of real corporate responsibility.
Biona Organic Basmati takes the very same philosophy and pushes it even further by maintaining a fully traceable supply chain from farm to table. It is usually sourced from organic farms at the foothills of the Himalayas in India, where independent third-party audits happen constantly. You pay for undeniable purity, backed by an ironclad paper trail rather than a meaningless green logo. Both companies do the one key thing the others ignored by actually proving their claims, and a large food corporation willingly opening its books changes the entire dynamic.
India Gate. Sela Basmati uses a brilliant preparation technique where the grain is parboiled directly inside its husk, long before milling even starts. This process permanently locks nutrients right into the white starch and drops the glycemic index, meaning every single grain cooks up perfectly separated without fail. You avoid sticky disasters and severe blood sugar crashes while enjoying flawless consistency. Best of Hungary organic white rice is the undisputed champion of this entire list, grown right on the Hungarian Great Plain, under extraordinarily strict European agricultural standards, where the heavy metal count sits practically at zero. This makes it safe enough for daily consumption and safe enough to feed your baby, which is why it should be sitting in every kitchen in the country. European cultivation, paired with near-zero contamination, flawless traceability, and total oversight, is an exceptionally rare combination to find. These final two options disprove the myth that clean and transparent sourcing is impossible, as it clearly exists right there on the shelf, and you now know precisely what to grab. We covered 9 brands that put price, scale, or marketing ahead of what actually ends up in your body, along with 4 brands that prove doing this properly is entirely possible. Next time you're at the supermarket, skip the untraceable budget bags and the expensive organic packaging with nothing behind it. Check your cupboard right now and drop the brand you currently use in the comments below so we can see which ones are most common. If this video gave you something to act on, subscribe for more honest and dry British food truths, because more content is on the